So who did Trump pick to lead the SEC? He picked Paul Atkins, a Republican, who was a former commissioner at the SEC. So he already knows the ropes.
Finally, we've got some breaking news out of the Trump transition team. Paul Atkins, a former SEC commissioner, has been tapped by President-elect Trump to lead that agency. On a Truth Social post this afternoon, Trump said that Atkins, quote, recognizes that digital assets and other innovations are crucial to making America greater than ever before.
And Paul Atkins at the time took over a Ponzi scheme, reversed it, and ended up giving shareholders money back. This explains that he will pass regulation for Bitcoin and other cryptos to make it safer, and that he understands contracts, language, and the Securities and Exchange verbiage.
When he was at the SEC previously, one of the things that he did was he took over at the time the largest Ponzi scheme in the United States out of bankruptcy and actually generated a 2,000% return for shareholders. This guy knows how to get things done, knows how to protect citizens and consumers as it relates to securities and investments.
And Paul Atkins told the banks that they need to have regulation so they can have custody of assets like crypto, when they had no regulation and they weren't willing to do it because the Biden administration wasn't backing them up with Gary Gensler. There was no such contracts. There was no such custody. So with Paul Atkins and Trump, the banks will perhaps have custody of these assets like crypto. And Paul Atkins will make it more favorable for them and set guidelines and rules, which overall makes it safer for us to invest.
He came out and said the SAB 121 ruling for the banks, which is, effectively making it impossible for banks to custody cryptocurrencies, should be clarified for how to custody cryptocurrency. So this is a guy that brings common sense to the SEC, which I think is extremely well received by the crypto industry, but most importantly, the entrepreneurs and investors in the United States that want to, safely and from a regulatory standpoint, invest and participate in crypto.
Click this link to watch the full video.